Hey, brothers and sisters from the Starknet ecosystem. Welcome back to the Star Cafe. This is Nur Star speaking, your personal Star barista. And once again, we are ready to delight you with some very special Starknet content. So, guys, thanks a lot for coming to the cafe. And I really hope you are having a great start to the week so far. And in today's session, we are going to literally explore the argent.x smart contract wallet, which is definitely one of the most important players in the Starknet ecosystem, as it provides the users with it provides the users with a safe and efficient non-custodial solution through which they can play with all the dApps that are live on Starknet. And as many of you know, argent.x was the first wallet to be deployed on Starknet when the alpha version of this scaling solution was deployed in the last quarter of 2021. And argent.x is also a product designed by designed and run by Argent, a very well-known European Web3 company headquartered in London, whose signature product is definitely the Argent Mobile Smart Contract Wallet that was launched in May 2020 on the Ethereum L1, and it was one of the first players in pioneering social recovery techniques like the use of guardians in case you will lose access to your account or to your mobile phone. Furthermore, the Argent mobile wallet has recently implemented ZK Sync, making Argent one of the most active companies in dealing with ZK solutions like Starknet and ZK Sync, while leveraging the technological improvements that such scaling solutions brings on the table. And obviously, the most mentioned example in this context would be account abstraction. And well, my friends, I guess that's enough for an intro. And it's now time to welcome Ismael, argent.x product lead at Argent, in order to start this exploration of the argent.x Starknet wallet and its latest developments. Hello, Ismael. Welcome to the Star Cafe. How is it going?
Hi everyone. Yeah, thanks for having me. I guess I can start with a bit of an introduction of myself. I'm a product manager for Argent, working on argent.x and also other Starknet related projects, and that includes also our recently announced web wallet. A bit of how I got, I guess, into Argent and in the crypto ecosystem. So a few years ago, I had a friend that was really into crypto and was the one that told me about all this ecosystem, the fact that it's going to change the world. And I really didn't believe him at that time, but he kept telling me that this is the future. So I started arguing with him, and then I went down the rabbit hole, and basically I started agreeing with his argument. So I became pretty much a believer. So after that I started using crypto more and more. Sorry. Nostar, I think when I'm speaking,
I can hear you very well, actually.
Okay, but I think when you have your Twitter on speaker mode, and whatever I speak, all good now. Yes, I was saying I started diving into the crypto ecosystem, and I found that there were a bunch of questions that we would have to answer in order for my parents to end up using this technology. So that's why I got into research of the different kinds of wallets, and I joined a team at Nethermind that was researching ERC 4337, which is the standard for smart contract wallets or account abstraction on EVM. And then after that, I joined Argent to help kickstart help the efforts around the argent.x wallet. Yeah, and that's about it for an introduction of myself.
Yeah. So sorry, Ismael, I had my mic off. Yeah, first of all, I wanted to say thanks a lot for coming. I saw that you immediately started with your background, which is perfectly okay, and it's a pleasure to have you here. And maybe would you just add what excites you the most at working on the argent.x wallet?
So so from all the products that we have, argent.x is the most, I guess, developer focused. So we have a bunch of features that cater to developers, like this deploy and declare flows, and the ability to see your seed phrase for ease of use when you're developing on a local network, and also the ability to connect to other networks like testnet and local Starknet and on mainnet as well. So the fact that we have to interact quite a lot with developers and being quite hands-on on the Starknet ecosystem is quite interesting. And the fact that we are shaping how the Starknet ecosystem evolves is also super interesting to me.
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot. Well, right now, I'd like to have a retrospective overview about argent.x as the first wallet to be supported on Starknet. I mean, I'd like to know from you which were the most relevant milestones that were achieved during this 1.5 year, more or less.
So yeah, I guess if we start with the launch of argent.x in November or December 2021, then after that, it was, well, back then the team was quite small, actually, just 2 people from our team, just exploring the possibilities of Starknet and trying to just get a tool out there for developers to better use the Starknet network. So after that, for a few months, the focus was just on stability. So yeah, the main milestones that we reached were pretty much launching the basic features. So sending transactions, seeing your activity, and then having a page dedicated to NFTs. But then about a year ago, or a little over a year ago, we started putting way more efforts on, or way more resources into the team, and we were able to launch way bigger functionality, like the swap functionality that we released earlier this year. And also one big milestone that we achieved, but it's kind of internal for now, it's we started the Argent Guardian whitelist beta. So basically all the Argent Guardian functionality, there's already a bunch of users that are testing it and will be available publicly very soon. And on top of that, we're also, the launch of Web Wallet for internal partners is also quite a huge milestone, because it was developed by the argent.x team, and it shares a lot of the code from argent.x, but it's packaged in a way that it's more easy for end users to use. Yeah, maybe we can dive into how that works a bit later.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah, it was very interesting to listen to the argent.x history on Starknet. And, you know, as a user and as a content creator, I experienced, you know, all the developments, and I witnessed the growth of argent.x during these 2 years almost. So it was amazing also the community that you're building behind it, and the community initiatives that you're taking. And well, having said that, you know, I would like to remind the times like a couple of months ago, when during the last Starkware sessions, the Argent team, if I remember well, Itamar, the CEO from Argent, announced 3 very important features that would come on the argent.x wallet soon. And they were like the argent.x mobile version, the seedless web wallet that you were hinting at with the email sign up, and the argent.x multi-sig account. So I would love to know, how are the developments around these disruptive features going? Are they coming anytime soon?
Yeah, sure. I can dive into each of them a bit right now. I'm not sure I can give concrete launch dates, but yeah, I'll try to be as precise as possible. So first of all, argent.x on mobile. It's yeah, there's quite a few people calling it that, but what it is basically Starknet support on our main mobile app. So the main, as you mentioned earlier, the main Argent product has always been the mobile app, because that's, I mean, way more people have um, phones that they have computers, and we believe that mobile is the future, and that's why a lot of startups and banks are now really mobile first. So we're also following that same approach. Um, uh, Also, a few years ago, when we launched the wallet, it was only available on mobile. It was for Ethereum layer one, and then we saw potential on ZK rollups with account abstraction. That's why we started developing ZK sync support for it, and now Starknet. And yeah, development is pretty much finalized now. We're in the final stages of testing, and we're going to be onboarding users in the coming weeks. Yeah, so that's pretty much it about it. On
Awesome. Yeah, thanks a lot, Ismael. Really looking forward to seeing all these developments being put in practice. And, looking forward especially to the mobile version of the argent.x wallets. And I think that most crypto native people use their browsers. Their browsers a lot, but also it's very important. It's very important to to onboard new users, and the average people use their phones to do everything nowadays. So I think obviously having a mobile version will help onboarding a lot of new people into Starknet. So I'm really looking forward to it. And also obviously also the seedless web browser version is also something I really welcome. And it would be amazing to have that kind of feeling of web 2 feeling, something like that. And last but not least, also the multi-sig account as well. I think it will play a very important role. As also, also the Starknet Foundation makes their first steps, and also when projects will grow, they'll have to diversify and to to help people handle treasuries, and in this case, multi-sig plays an essential role. So yeah, thanks a lot for disclosing some of the coming features on the start.
yeah, so on the Argent multisig, I think it's quite interesting to clarify why we went on this direction, why we decided to build a multisig, since it's never been our core product to build multisigs. We always focused on the end user, but we do see ourselves as shapers of the Starknet ecosystem right now. We've been working with Starkware on the standard for how accounts operate, and we've been there pretty much since the beginning of Starknet, and we do see ourselves as kind of shapers of the ecosystem. We saw that there was this big need for DAOs and the Starknet Foundation to start having that that multisig, and even though that wasn't really our focus back then, and there's other companies that could be focused on that, we do see kind of that it's our duty to provide to the ecosystem whatever it needs, and being ourselves already kind of experts in the account world. Yeah, that's why we decided it was a good idea for us to keep providing the ecosystem what it needs.
I see, Ismael. Yeah, thanks a lot for that. And well, right now I'd love to speak about one of the most characterizing feature of of smart contract wallets on scaling solutions such as Starknet and zk Sync. And the Argent team is working a lot with account abstraction on both Starknet and zk Sync. So could you tell us the Argent approach on this innovation? And I'd also like to know if the fact of working on account abstraction powered features on both scaling solutions is giving the Argent dev team a particular advantage in terms of technical experience, as you can explore the best from the two rollups. And finally, how is it working on both solutions at the same time?
Yeah, so the truth is we from a few years ago we always thought that Ethereum was going to be the chain uh, to work on, so we put all our efforts there. But then as the Ethereum roadmap kept evolving and the focus started shifting towards layer twos, we started thinking what's the best strategy to follow here, and we were pretty certain that zk rollups were a clear winner over optimistic rollups or other solutions. And then, of course, that would solve the scalability issue. But in terms of UX, we learned quite a lot from our experience in Ethereum Layer 1. And having a kind of abstraction for us is right now pretty much a must in order to support network, which, well, a kind of abstraction for those who are not familiar with the concept is that pretty much simplified the idea that all accounts on a network are smart contracts, including the user accounts, and that means that you can have a specific logic for how to access the funds of those accounts. In our case, we have this complex guardian system, and on Ethereum Layer 1, we have these guardians that you can set up, like family and friends, that they can help you recover access to your account in case you lose your keys. So that's why we choose to develop on zk rollups that have account abstraction, because we do see them as the networks that have those two key necessary requirements in order for a network to succeed. And yeah, when you talk about the experience that we've had over the past 4 years, I do think that there's quite a few things that Argent does a bit differently than other smart contract wallets in the ecosystem or in other networks. And it's I think there's a naive approach of putting everything on chain and having all the logic of the wallet being there in the smart contract, and that really makes for a worse experience at the end of the day, because having everything on chain is not, well, every change on that logic requires a transaction, and that incurs some cost. Whereas we try to be quite minimal right now with our approach with the smart contracts, and as long as our whole architecture provides censorship resistant and true self-custody, that's enough for our contracts to consider them great for the user.
Thanks a lot, Ismael, for this very interesting overview on your approach, or the Argent approach towards account abstraction, and also on the, on the approach that you have while dealing with both Starknet and zk Sync. And at this point, I'd like to switch our focus towards the community aspects, and Argent as a huge loyal community that has been with you since your first L1 wallet product. And now you also focusing a lot on creating a good organic community behind the argent.x wallet. So could you tell me what you have been doing in this direction?
Sure. Yeah. I think first of all, this community of followers that we have wouldn't have been possible to have if we didn't have quite some bold ideas or values. Like for example, on our wallet from the very beginning, on mobile, we had we wanted to get rid of seed phrases. That was kind of like the first wallet that dared to do that. And also at some point we even removed the transaction fees from the wallet. This is something that we no longer do because it's too expensive for us to maintain. But it's still in our vision to have that seamless experience. And that well, the only way to truly achieve that seamless experience is with smart contract wallets. Lately, people have started to realize that, and by lately I mean probably in the past 2 years, and the Starknet team has done quite a good job at also spreading the word about the importance of smart contract wallets. But yeah, in terms of efforts that we put in the community, I do think that we always think about the user experience first, and users end up appreciating that. And also we're always looking for ways, especially in the Starknet ecosystem lately, to boost not only our wallet but the ecosystem in general. We, as I mentioned earlier, we do see ourselves as kind of a shaper of the ecosystem, and right now we're focused on growing the size of the pie pretty much, and bringing new users to the Starknet ecosystem and making them experience all the nice apps that are being developed there. So yeah, that leads me to this effort that we're having lately, this Xplorer campaign, where we are where it's a campaign that's running for 8 weeks, and we're currently on week 3. Basically, we're giving out NFTs for those users that use specific dApps. And actually, today is the last day to use YeraSwap to be eligible to the for the week 3 NFT. So yeah, just if anyone wants to try that out and collect some NFTs that represent the early days of Starknet exploration, just go to our Twitter account, and you will find the details over there.
Awesome. Thanks a lot, Ismael. It's great to see such initiatives like the Explorer NFT campaign. And also, I like to remind that Argent is also among the sponsors of the Starkfighter gaming competition, which was a mini gaming challenge, ecosystem challenge that was sponsored by most of the by the most active projects in the Starknet ecosystem, and it lasted for like 3 weeks. It ended last week, and a lot of players participated in the challenge. And also it was also thanks to sponsors like Argent that took place, and many people had a great fun with it. And it was also another great campaign to build awareness around the Starknet scaling solution, and also to onboard new users that maybe they would start their first experiences with argent.x and with Starknet by just playing the game, and then they would stick to the ecosystem and maybe play with some other projects or dApps, maybe for also maybe with Jedi swap, doing their first swaps, and this would make them become recurrent users of the Starknet scaling solution. So such initiatives are also welcome, and congratulations for that. And well, as we are gradually coming to the end of this Star Cafe, I'd like to know what we could expect from the argent.x wallet in the near future, and how Argent is planning to help the Starknet ecosystem thrive as the overall network UX and performances on Starknet improve, as they're scheduled to improve in the coming months, as a couple of very important Starknet versions will deployed, and with them the UX is set to improve dramatically.
Yeah. So so in the coming months, we're gonna be doing or putting quite a lot of effort on mobile right after we do the initial Starknet launch. There's a bunch of things that we see that the mobile app could do for users to facilitate the general use of Starknet and blockchains, because at the end of the day, that mobile app is going to be the entry point for many of the users to explore what blockchain is and what benefits it can bring to them. So making that experience way better and way more capable is definitely in our focus. Then also we're gonna release a bunch of products to help dApps engage more with their users. Basically, as I was mentioning earlier, more tooling and products to help dApps grow and help the Starknet ecosystem grow. And then there's a lot of research that we're doing on session keys, the paymaster infrastructure. That's also something that's going to bring quite a big UX improvements to the whole network. So those would be the things that we'll be focusing on, and then of course, the multi-sig is going to be released quite soon in the coming weeks. We'll make it available for everyone to use the Argent Guardian on argent.x, and web wallet is also about to be released with some launch partners.
Awesome. Yeah, very cool. Can't wait to see these new features be put in place, and looking forward to making my first transactions on my mobile through the argent.x wallet. Really looking forward to it. Well, my questions, I've run out of questions. I don't know if you would like to add something, or like asking me for some questions.
Yeah, sure. So I do see that you keep up with the ecosystem quite well, and you're always a great source of for keeping up to date with the ecosystem. But I'm wondering what resources do you use to learn about the ecosystem and being able to put that good content on Twitter?
Sure. Well, I try my best by following some lists with the most active projects in the space, while spending many hours consuming fundamental-driven contents about Starknet, and also about the whole Ethereum ecosystem and about the other scaling solutions as well. And on top of that, I really like networking with people and with the whole community. And this gives me a kind of a hedge to have, a broad overview of the ecosystem. And this also makes me feel part of this amazing community, which is growing every day more. And, I'm just trying my best to do my part in helping Starknet and this community express their full potential.
Yeah, that's great. So I guess, well, maybe you did an introduction of what Star Cafe is, but in the future, what guests could we expect here, and who would be your dream guest to have in this show?
Yeah, that's a very nice question. And, being a big fan of Ethereum and of its ethos, its mission, and of its community, I would say that for a fundamental-driven content creator like me, having some renowned founders and personalities from the Starknet and the Ethereum space as guests on my show would always be something very welcome on my side. I would say I don't have a dream guest in particular, or maybe I do, but I'm too superstitious to discuss that. But I treat all my guests of the Star Cafe as my dream guests. as I learn a lot of things. I learn a lot of things from each of you. So, and I also think this is the right attitude to maybe get your dream guest one day. Thanks a lot for
Yeah,
this question.
that makes sense. Yeah.
Great. Well, Ismael, before I say goodbye to you, I would love to thank all the audience, all the guys who are listening to us live. Thanks a lot for taking some of your precious time to be with us today. I'd like to say hello to some known faces like Dub Out Something, It's Daily, and also I would love to shout out to Alex from the Argent team, who helped me a lot to set up this Star Cafe with Ismael. And last but not least, thanks a lot, Ismael, for coming today. It's been an amazing cafe. I hope you enjoyed it, and I really look forward to having you back on the cafe. Thanks a lot, Ismael.
Yeah, thank you so much for having me. It's always great to chat about Starknet and share what we're doing with everyone.
Thanks a lot, Ismael. Well, guys, the next Star Cafe will be opening tomorrow at 1 p.m. UTC, as we learn more about the plug-and-play Starknet node device with the Kazar Lab team with Antiro. And so guys, thanks a lot once again. It's time to close the cafe. And remember sharing the Starknet vibe, and see you on the next time. Bye. Bye, Ismael. Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone. Thanks again.